Warning: while conducting further research for this video after filming, it came to our attention that the method explained is of Indian, not Chinese origin. Although the speaker references the ancient Chinese people in his talk, the true founders of this multiplication method are the Vedic people from India. Our false information came from this YouTube video. Do not listen to its lies. The information that it presents is wrong. And now back to the video. Oh, hello there, and welcome back to the Legacy of Mathematics. I'm Asa Madrid, and I'll be showing you how to multiply like the ancient Indian did. So to start off, let's learn how to multiply 12 by 13. This is how they would do it. That's how it's done. But how did I do that? That brings us to this week's multiplicative breakdown. For this week's multiplicative breakdown, we're going to break down the method that the ancient Indian used to multiply. So starting off, we're going to multiply 23 and 34. I don't know about you, but that would be an ugly number for me to multiply in my head. So first of all, we need to isolate these individual digits. The 2, 3, 3, and 4. Now we're going to represent 23 with lines. Looking at the 2, we're going to draw 2 diagonal lines. And then up above it, we're going to draw 3 more. And then we're going to do the same thing for 34, but those lines will be perpendicular to these lines. 3 lines for 3, 4 lines for 4. Now all we need to do is just simply count up these points of intersection. But we're going to look at separate areas. This area is going to be the hundreds place. This area is our ones place, and the area in the middle is the tens place. So let's get to counting. Alright, so once we do that, we get these numbers 6, 17, and 12. Since these are just placeholders, we can't have a 12. So we're going to cross out this 1 and move it up to here, making this an 18. And then take out this 1, move it up here, making the 6 a 7. Now we have 782, which is our product. You might be thinking, that's a cool trick and all, but how does it work? Well, I'm glad you asked that. Let's break down the problem a little bit further. When you're multiplying 23 times 34, you're really multiplying the quantities of 20 plus 3 and 30 plus 4. If you've ever suffered through an algebra class, you might look at that and say it looks a little bit like a FOIL problem. So let's go ahead and FOIL the problem out. We multiply 20 times 30 and get 600. 3 times 30 and get 90. 20 times 4 and get 80. And 3 times 4 and get 12. Now you might be looking at this and saying, this 600 corresponds with this 6 in the hundreds place. This 8 and 9 correspond with this 9 and 8 in the tens place. And this 12 corresponds with this 12 in the ones place. That's because these points of intersection correspond directly to these product components that make up the problem as a whole. So let's add these together. We add down and we get a 2 here and 18 here. So we'll carry this over. 782. In 1500 BC, a group of people called the Vedics entered India. From 1000 to 500 BC, the group produced a composition of text called the Vedas. In the text, a group of appendices called the Solva Sutras demonstrated some interesting mathematics in the form of measurements for the ritualistic altars. These measurements included reference to this line multiplication method. So let's try another one just for fun. Let's multiply 104 and 212. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing that we've been doing all night. For the 1, we're going to draw one line. We're going to skip a space for the 0 and then draw 4 lines up above. We're going to do the same thing for 212. 2 lines here, 1 in the center, 2 lines at the bottom. Now this is where it's going to get a little bit tricky. Since we're dealing with these large numbers, we're going to have 5 areas that we need to count out the intersection points. We're going to count the area or the points in this area, in this area, in this area, in this area, and in this area. I know it looks a little confusing, so we're going to go through it a little slowly. We have 2 points right here. We have 1 point right here. We have 10 points in this area, these ones and those. We have 4 right here, and we have 8 on the bottom. So seeing as this is a 10, we're going to cross out that 1 and move it over here. And then we're just going to simply put these numbers together. So we get 2, 2, 0, 4, 8, giving us 22,048 for our final product. So now that you can tuck line multiplication into your repertoire of multiplicative methods, let me send you off with a problem you can do on your own. Have fun with that. And thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of The Legacy of Mathematics.